In this video, we will practice the basic variable operations in Python. We have a couple of questions here. Question number 1, how many seconds are there in an hour? Basically, this is an expression. We need to multiply the number of seconds in a minute by the number of minutes in an hour. The result is 60 times 60. And if we run this code, we're going to get the result here, 3600. The next question is asking us to assign the result from the previous task to a variable called seconds per hour. So I'm going to create a variable, seconds per hour, and I'm going to assign the value 60 times 60 to this variable. Now, if I wish to see the value in this variable, I can type in the variable name, but that's not needed. The variable has been created anyhow. Next, how many seconds are there in a day? To answer the question, we have to use seconds per hour variable. So knowing that we have 24 hours in a day and that we have seconds per hour seconds in each hour, we can multiply 24 times seconds per hour to get to the result. This question is asking us again to store this value in a variable called seconds per day. So I'm going to create a variable called seconds per day, and I'm going to assign the value 24 times seconds per hour to that variable, which has now the same value. Next, this is asking us to divide seconds per day by seconds per hour. It's also asking us to use a floating point division with 1/. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's divide seconds per day divided over seconds per hour. Once again, I'm invoking code completion by hitting tab. So I get some cues from the notebook and I don't type in the full variable name. And I get 24.0 as a result. Okay. Next, it's asking me to do the same operation using an integer division. And let's examine the result if it's the same as above. So I'm going to do seconds per day with 2/ divided over seconds per hour. And what I get here is 24. So what's the difference? The difference is that this one is a floating point number and this one is an integer number. Python also, when it formats a certain variable, it also adds some cues for us to know the type of the variable. One of the cues it uses is that it differentiates floating point number from integers by adding a decimal point, even if the value of the decimal point is 0. If we want to be sure about the type, we can use the function type here. And this will tell us that the type of this is a float and the type of this is an integer, an int. So what does that mean? What does it mean to have two different types? In this case, because we can completely divide seconds per hour over seconds per day over seconds per hour, the value itself, although it's represented differently, it's the same. However, if we cannot have a complete whole division, we will get a fraction when we use a division with a regular division, but we will not get a fraction if we use the integer division. So for instance, if we have 5 apples and we want to divide it over 2 people, each person will get 2.5 apples. If we have 5 cars and we want to divide them over 2 people, each person will get 2 cars. We're not going to split a car in half, right? And that's the meaning of the integer division. We will get back to this operation when we talk also about the remainder. The remainder is the operation modulo with a percentage here that basically give me the remainder. If I divide 5 over 2, 1 remain. Okay, so we will revisit these operations in the future.